Hozzáért még Florenzi, mutatja Bale, és így dönt a játékvezető is. Bale remekül. Megpattan. Elindult rá Szczesny, annyira azért nem volt veszélyes, Manolas ért még hozzá. Reál szöglet. James ezúttal. Ronaldo ugrik. Modric beadása. Könnyedén húzza le Szczesny. És az indítása is kiváló. Salah nem tudja átvenni jól. Ebben több volt. Kroos. Hozzátéve, hogy azért csak a felező vonalnál járt, és vele egy vonalban legalább 3 Real játékos volt. Kroos. Danilo. Pepe. Bale. Ramos. Marcelo. Ronaldo ezúttal a bal szélen. Ronaldo. James. Elesik. Senki nem bántotta. Ronaldo. Ő viszont lesen. Jelzett az asszisztens, úgyhogy jöhet a Róma. Több mint 350 gólnál már Cristiano Ronaldo, aki valóban lesen volt. 1,05%-os meccsenkénti gólátlaga van. Hihetetlen adat. Ha a Real tétmeccseit nézzük vele. Díny. Keylor Navas. Azt mondta, a meccset megelőzően a Real DNS-ében van a győzelem. Ezért akarja megnyerni ezt a találkozót is. Florenzi fejeli haza. Manolas. Pjanic. Szczesny. Díny felé. James fejel. Casemiro. Jelentem Varane közben visszaült a kispadra, úgyhogy tudja folytatni a két Real középső védő. Salah. Pepe keresztez, és oldja meg. Ráadásul úgy, hogy még a Real is jöhet. Salah hátra. A legeredményesebb játékosa a bajnokságban a Rómának Mohamed Salah. Duplázott pénteken, korábbi klubja a Fiorentina ellen. Mindig Chelsea játékos. Folyamatosan kölcsönben játszik. Ramos. Navas. Modric vissza. Őt is láthatjuk majd. Az M4. Salah. Dzeko vissza. Ezt a mérkőzést március 26-án játszak, de már van horvát keret. Modric. James. Ronaldo. Marcelo. Marcelo vissza Ronaldo felé. Ronaldo! Legalább 2 kéz volt messziről. Egy itt, egy ott, de egyik sem volt szándékos. Nagyon keveset van a Rómánál a labda, sőt most nagyon be is szorult a saját kapuja elé. Próbál magasan védekezni, de ez nem mindig sikerül a vendégcsapatnak. Casemiro. Danilo. Ez egy picit felelőtlen megoldás volt. Dzeko. Florenzi. James. Ronaldo a leshatáron. Nem indult el előre. Érkezik Danilo. Ronaldo, ez szép, James. Kiteszi a szélre. Bale. Salah. Kanistól elpattan. Modric. Ellövi messziről. Szczęsny. Ronaldo. James. Kimegy. És ez így szöglet lesz. Ez volt eddig a legjobb lövés a meccsen. Haj, rendben jöhet a szöglet. Casemiro fejelte vissza, és jelző, hogy szerint a szögletnek kell jönnie. Márcsinek is így látta. Pjanic a földön, egyelőre nem villog. Mire nem Pjanic. Elég sok hibával játszik, pedig ő pontosan tudja, milyen kiejteni a Reált. Itt a Bernabeuban még a Lyonnal sikerült neki. Jó szezonja van, nagyon az eddig legeredményesebb szériás. Kroos ezúttal a szöglettel. Jön Szczęsny. James. Ez úgy volt egy okos elképzelés, hiszem, hogy 4 Real játékos helyezkedett lesen. James hátrál. Nincs mindig ott a kezdőben, pedig még egyszer a Modric fél elő. Mozogni felé Szczęsny. Belefért. El Shaarawy. Marcelo higgadtan. Modric. Keita állítaná meg, de még szabálytalanul sem sikerül. Modric gyorsít fel, Ronaldo fut előtte és kapja is. Manolas vele szemben, és a görög meg is oldja. Keita. Nem rossz mérkőzés, igen nagy a tempó, és mind a két oldalon voltak már helyzetek, gól egyelőre még nincsen. Perotti. El Shaarawy felé. Dzeko. Digne. Perotti. Nagyon dicséri Spalletti. Genoától érkezett a télen, jól erősített. Két tavalyi BL elődöntős. Éppen a Juve búcsúztatta a Reált. A legutóbbi 8 oda-visszavágós párharcát olasz csapattal szemben elbukta a Reál. Itt most nem úgy áll, hogy ezt elfogja. Danilo. Keita vissza. Szczęsny. Bale. Marcelo középre, sikerült kiemelni. Kroos. Salah. Dzeko. Salah, üres a másik oldal, de nem érkezik a labda. Ez a második olyan szituáció, amely során elég közel van ahhoz a Róma, hogy esetleg a vezetést is megszerezze, de ezzel sem tud élni. Perotti kocog vissza szomorkásan. James. Ronaldo, csak egy csel, Ronaldo. Modric. Modric messziről. Ebben nem volt veszély. Azt mondta a meccset megelőzően Zinedine Zidane is, az első negyede a találkozónak, ezt abszolút aláírja. Ez egy olyan csapatot küld pályára ma este, amelyben van lövőerő. Rengeteg távoli próbálkozása volt eddig a meccsen a Reálnak. kapuba még egyik sem jutott, és kaput sem sok talált el. Díny. Itt a bal szélen már Perotti. Beíveli középre. Sáravi fejelt. Látszott, hogy fölé fog menni. Fáraócskának becézik. Navas érezte, hogy ez nem lesz veszélyes. Perotti, Szala felé, Ramos helyezkedett remekül. Olvashattuk, nem volt még kaput eltalált kísérlete a Rómának. Viszont közel 10 próbálkozásnál jár már a Reál. Perotti volt le sem. Most nem volt le sem, vitte ki az asszisztens szerint. Manolas. Marcelo vissza. Kroos lép ki. Most nem volt a legtökéletesebb, ahogy megértette egymást Kroos és Marcelo. Pjanic, Keita. Salah. Marcelo elegánsan. Pepe. Danilo. Díny. Danilo. Díny rossz ütemben. De nem történt szabálytalanság Márcsinyák szerint. Cséko, az nagy passz, Salah lép ki, érkezik Navas, de rosszul! Mellé! Egy újabb óriási lehetőség a Róma előtt. Kicsit kisorolott helyzetből lőtt Salah, de azért azt illet volna bepasszolni a kapuba. Bélék pedig még mindig azt az előző esetet kérdezik meg Márcsinyáktól. Itt elviszi Danilo. Ez egy teljesen egyértelmű szabálytalanság volt. Nagyon szépen védte a lehető legnagyobb részét a kapunak Navas, ha már egyszer megállt és nem ment tovább a labdáért. Hát... bánhatja a Róma, hogy kiadja ezeket a lehetőségeket. Volt szó arról a stúdióban, hogy mi van, hogyha kicsit belealszik a meccsbe a Reálba, valami ezt nem éreztem így. De most már voltak olyan lehetőségeik a vendégeknek, amelyekből egy, de akár két gólt is szerezhettek volna. Ramos. Navas. Ramos újra. Kroos. Danilo felé, fejjel vissza. Díny megint rossz ütemben. Most befújja a lengyel. Casemiro. Bale. Marcelo, pont akkor indult el a másik irányba Ronaldo. Pjanic. Spalletti azt mondta a meccset megelőzően, hogy a lehetetlent kéri a játékosaitól. Az első fél óra alapján ez nem is annyira lehetetlen. Vagy általában, hogyha beszélünk inkább egy ember 2-0-nál, akkor, hogyha ég a ház. Bale. Bale cselek. Majd a lövés! Ez sem talál kaput. Szczesny. A legutóbbi 6 tétmeccsén 10 gólt szerzett összesen Gareth Bale. És ezúttal nem lyukasak a sportszárak, hogyha jól láttam. A hétvégén azok voltak. Kevesen nyomozzák, hogy miért. Ronaldo gyorsít fel. Ronaldo még egy befelecsel, majd a lövés! Szczesny! Egy pillanat alatt Ronaldo. Perotti. Pjanic. Keita. Florenzi. Salah. Jó meccs. Keita. Manolas. Szczesny. Fejjel. Dzeko, az csúnyának tűnik, Danilo marad lent a földön Dzekoval együtt. Dzeko picivel jobban, mint Danilo. Dzeko már talpon. Még egyszer. És az arcát fájlalja Danilo. Még azért ahogy ütköztek, az sem volt kicsi. Tehát akár még más is fájhat. Közben pedig Zidane Jamesnek magyaráz a technikai zónánál, a képernyőn is. Ott akarja a száját is Zidane, ne lehessen leolvasni azt, hogy mit mond. Spanyolországban nagyon értenek ahhoz, hogy mindent leolvasnak az ember szájáról. Úgyhogy még ezt is eltitkolja. Kérdezték külön Jamesről Zinedine Zidánt, azt mondta a francia vezetőedző, hogy tudja, hogy mi rejlik ebben a játékosban, és ezért követel tőle is, meg egyébként mindenki mástól is sokkal többet. És mindig van fejlődési lehetőség, Jamesben pedig rengeteg. Nem volt les, ez ebből a képből tökéletesen látszik, elindul Ronaldo befelé, és elég váratlanul lövi el, de Szczesny figyelt rá. Itt pedig már Navas jön. Ding vissza. James. Nagyon szép kötény, Modric. Bale. Ronaldo keresztbe, kapja is, jön Szczesny, és néz Szczesny. Továbbra sincs gól, de rengeteg helyzet mind a két oldalon. Tökéletesen indul meg, nagyszerű ütemben kapja a labdát. De Szczesny is jól figyelt. Kroos. Sharawi fejelik ki, de nem túl messzire. Marcelo. Unatkozunk. Ezért annyira veszélyes lövés. De Marcelo nagy kedvel tér vissza. A Vádliával voltak problémái. Pjanic. El Sharawi. Keita. Ding. Dzeko. Modric-sal szemben próbált bemutatni egy esernyőt, félig jött be, de marad a labda a vendégeknél. Keita. Sharawi próbált kilépni. Casemiro. Modric. Bale. Marcelo. Kroos. Modric. Mutatja Zidane Pepének és Ramosnak, hogy még feljebb menjenek egészen a felező vonalig. Pjanic. Ez az egyik, amit kért a Reáltól Zidane. Tolja feljebb a védekezését a csapat, a másik pedig, hogy jobban becsülje meg a labdát, ne ívelgessen folyamatosan fölfelé. Kroos, legalábbis kevesebb szertelje meg még annál is, mint korábban. Bale labdája. mindenki előtt elment. Ezért például minden egyes megmozdulásában benne van a veszély. Nem értették, hogy annak idején a Real miért adott ki érte 100 millió eurót, mert a pontos összeget senki nem tudja, legalábbis nagyon kevesen. Ezért addig nem játszott rosszul a Realban. El Shaarawy kap egy nagyot, és ez már lap lesz. Danilót figyelmezteti Simon Marciniak. Még egyszer nagyot kapott el Shaarawy. Azonban nem lett. Ez ilyenekben azért benne van, és ennyivel egy Európa-bajnokság előtt ez egyes játékosnál fontos kérdés. Most már egy kisebb sérülés, 4-5 hónapos kiadás is az EB-től való búcsút jelenti. Kevesebb, mint 100 nap van a labdarúgó Európa-bajnokság kezdetéig, és szerintem már a magyar válogatott első meccséig sincs 100 nap. Danilo, James. Ez is mehet tovább, Shaarawy pedig megy is, csak éppen rosszul passzol Perottinak. James. Kroos tovább, Bale szemben a kapuval, Bale. Talán olyan pillanat, amikor előhette volna. Kroos. Bale. Keita. Florenzi. Digne. Modric érkezik. És vannak, akik előttem fölállnak látva ezt a megmozdulást Luka Modrictól. Össze-vissza passz. Perotti rontott ezúttal. Ő például azt a Schalke elleni párharcot hozta föl példaként a mostani mérkőzéssel kapcsolatban. Akkor a Gelsenkirchen 2-0-ra nyert az első meccsen a Real, visszavágott viszont 4-3-ra elveszítette. 5-4-jel jutott tovább. Marcelo. Marcelo és Salah csatája. És végül Marcelo kap szabadrugást, amit már el is végzett a Real. Ronaldo ellövi messziről. Szögletet reklamál és kap is. Marcelo lába. Aztán maga Marcelo. Bale. Jobbal adja be. Nincs röviden, James. Modric, Pepe. Passzol Ronaldónak. Ronaldo. Maradt a Realnál. Modric. Ronaldo. Még egyel tovább. Casemiro. Csesnyi. Lehet mellé ment volna, de meg is tudta fogni, és már dobta is előre. Pjanic. Keita. Florenzi. 5 perc még az első félidőből. Perotti. Újabb jó Modric védekezés. Díny nézelődik. Dzeko. Perotti sétál középre. Díny. Volt kint ezek szerint. El Shaarawy, középen Salah és Dzeko. Pepére vezeti rá. Sokat vállalt most El Shaarawy. Modric. James. De sokat gondolkodott az asszisztens. Lehetett látni, vagy háromszor gondolta meg magát, hogy akkor most emeli, nem emeli, emeli, nem emeli, aztán a végén emelte. Most picivel többször változtattam. Ezt innen nagyon nehéz megmondani, de szerintem ez nem volt les. Pont egy vonalban ültem a szituációval. Iszonyatosan nehéz ennél a tempónál egy ilyet egyértelműen megmondani. Még akkor is, hogyha az asszisztensek szem erre már azért sokat gyakorolt, és egy picivel egyszerűbb. Salah! Egyből! Navas! Nem volt elég erő Salah lövésében. Marcelo. Modric. Pepe. Danilo. James. Kroos. Bale. Kroos újra. Danilo fut. És kapja is be középre. James tovább. Bale jön. Nem tudott rúgni, aztán megint kezezést reklamálnak a hazaiak. Salah gyorsít fel, lehagyja Ramoszt. Salah. Félig jutott túl Casemiron, addig visszaért Ramos, és végül ő tisztázott. Ezt sem lehet befújni 11-esnek. Keita. Pjanic. Rövid volt a passz Salah felé. James. Bale. Danilo kapja. Modric. Kroos. Fut Marcelo. Lehet az jobb opció lett volna, hogyha elé ívelik a labdát. Pepe. Modric. Casemiro. Bale most marad a jobb szélen. Kroos. Aztán bemegy középre, Ronaldo pedig kapja. Csak túlságosan erős a labda. Picit bosszankodott Ronaldo, aztán utána tapsol. Mérgelődik. Az Atletico elleni hazai vesztes meccset követően mondta azt, hogy más lenne, hogyha mindenki az ő szintjén lenne. Ezt vették sokan zokon a Real Madridnál. Aztán mondta, hogy az erőlétre gondolt, mert sok volt akkor a sérült a Realnál. Perotti szerez labdát, Salah. 1 perc lesz a hosszabbítás az első félidő végén. Bale. Ronaldo inkább ellövi. Megpattant Zukanovicson. Úgyhogy van még lehetősége a Realnak arra, hogy az első játékrészben vezetést szerezzen. Toni Kroos. Tejte fejeli ki. Modric. Kroos újra. Marcelo kapásból. Izgulni nem izgult. Sok veszíteni valója, főleg 2-0-nál összesítésben nem volt. A játékvezető pedig ebben a pillanatban lefújja az első félidőt. Lehetőségek voltak mindkét csapat előtt, és addig, amíg a Real inkább távolról próbálkozott, például Ronaldo vagy éppen Marcelo is lőtt, addig a Rómának közelebbről voltak nagy helyzetei, de mind Salah, mind Dzeko elhibázta azt a lehetőséget, amellyel szorosabbá tehette volna a vendégcsapat ezt a párharcot. Úgyhogy a Real Madrid egyetlen félidőre attól, hogy bejusson idén is sorozatban 6-szor a legjobb 8 közé a Bajnokok Ligájában, de azt a félidőt, főleg egy ilyen elsőt látva, azt hiszem érdemes lesz megnézni.
A mérkőzés közvetítésének támogatója az Unicredit, az UEFA Bajnokok Ligája szponzora.
Keresd a Bajnokok Ligája ajánlatát is a Tipmixen. Tipmix. Sport, fogadás, élmény.
Dizemos não ao racismo. Nein zum Rassismus.
Nei till rasism.
No al racismo.
No to racism.
No al racismo.
A Tiszaparti együttes pont azt a csapatot látja vendégül, amely a bajnokságban egyedüliként képes volt megverni a listavezetőt. A tét nem csak a visszavágás, hanem ez a meccs dönthet az alapszakasz elsőségről is. KNH Férfi Kézilabdaliga alapszakasz. Szeged, Tatabánya. Szerdán este élőben az M4 Sporton. A Stamford Bridge-en bármi megtörténhet. Egy hazai találat már elég lehet a továbbjutáshoz, de ha a párizsiak nem kapnak gólt, ők a negyeddöntősök. Hajszálnyi előny a vendégeknél, de tudjuk, hogy kettejük párharca az elmúlt két alkalommal is az idegenben lőtt gólokon múlott. Vajon a Stamford Bridge-en bármi megtörténhet? UEFA Bajnokok Ligája, 8-döntő visszavágó. Chelsea, Paris Saint-Germain. Szerdán este élőben az M4 Sporton.
A mérkőzés közvetítésének támogatója a Heineken és az Unicredit, az UEFA Bajnokok Ligája szponzorai.
Szia, apa! Hallottad a hírt?
Mi a hír?
Kisbabám lesz!
Már egy hír is nagy hír.
Maguknak kisbabájuk lesz.
De két ilyen hír.
Az átlag emberek nem csinálnak gyereket ilyen korukban.
Ki ír?
Apa!
Steve Martin.
Mi a csuda van rajtam?
Micsoda játék!
Wolfsburg-Gent mérkőzés közvetítését támogatja az Unicredit, az UEFA Bajnokok Ligája hivatalos szponzora.
A Wolfsburg arénában az állás 0-0 a szünetben, összesítésben 45, 45 perccel a párharc vége előtt ugyanúgy 3-2 a Wolfsburgnak, mint ahol 3 héttel ezelőtt a csapatok abba hagyták. Rövidesen mutatunk egy rövid reakciót, és aztán egy rövid elemzés is arról, amit láthattak már a kezdőcsapatok összeállításánál, hogy mégis mi ez a 4-2-2-2-es ritkán látható hadrend. De nézzük akkor, hogy mi történt érdemben az első félidőben. Ez a találkozó 12-13. perce, és egy nyögvenyelős befordulás, ugye Sürre labdáját követően nem is sikerült a kaput eltalálni.
Hát nagyon szárnyaszegetten játszott a hazai csapat, és ebben az időszakban is csak ez az egy ilyen kapu felé tartó lövés volt nekem.
Itt ugye Kruse fordult be, és ez 5 perccel később a 18-ban Gilabugi lövése, és tulajdonképpen az egyetlen védeni való Matselsnél.
Ja, hát az talán ennyit az első fél időről körülbelül. Ha nagyon őszintén akarunk lenni, akkor ez az egyetlen egy olyan komolyabb említésre érdemlő esemény történt. Gyenge a Wolfsburg, de hát kivárásra játszanak. És szerintem ez a vendégeknek lehet, hogy jó, a második fél időben lehet, hogy megtolják, de ez egy szép lövés volt, szép volt a védés is.
Nyilván a Wolfsburgnak egészen addig nem is kell sokkal erősebbnek lenni, amíg az állás így van. Ennél többet van a labda, bár a csapat kevesebbet futott, ami egy picit ugye egy olyan meccsképét rajzolhatná ki elénk, Tibi, ami nem feltétlenül a Wolfsburg kontrollja alatt van, a számok alapján. Mennyire érzed azt, hogy ez nagyon magabiztos semmi a részükről?
Egy nagyon magabiztos semmi, de játszanak a tűzzel, mert ettől függetlenül, vagy attól függetlenül, hogy nem nagyon tudtunk berakni vendéghelyzetet, azért a kapu előtt voltak azért pillanatok, amikor azért a vendégek meglepték a Wolfsburgot. Játszanak a tűzzel, nyilván a továbbjutás egyelőre nem forog veszélyben, de nem az a Wolfsburg, amelyet a Manchester United ellen megcsodáltunk.
Csaba, arra kérlek, hogy akkor vázold nekünk, hogy mégis mi ez a 4-2-2-2. Ugye nagyon érdekesen nézett ki a hadrend, mert
he's their best player, he's the quickest, and I think they only had 35% possession in that first half, so they're playing on the counter-attack. Look where Marcelo is. That's your left back. We talk about game management before the game. He shouldn't be able to run into these spaces. That forces the centre-backs to come out of position. And sometimes if you just stay in position, look at Marcelo at the top of your picture there. That's your left. Obviously, I know Real Madrid play this way at home, but they're up 2-0. It's a bit of game management. And look what happens. The pitch opens up. The full-backs are both out of position. And this is a nightmare for your centre-backs. You would ask Rio, would he want to be in a position against these quick wingers being dragged out? It's a nightmare. I mean, look how much space he has to run into. They are so fortunate, Real Madrid, that they didn't get punished in that first half.
But this is the way that Real Madrid play. They play with their full-backs very high, and the two midfielders sitting deep in Modric and
Going forward, they've not really created any clear-cut chances, Michael. One or two kind of long-range efforts.
They've had a lot of shots, yeah, exactly. Yeah. But Roma have had far fewer but far better chances. And Real Madrid have not really looked like scoring. I don't really think the goalkeeper's made too many good saves. A lot of long-range shots, and if you're the manager of the opposing side going to the Bernabeu, then delighted if you're refraining them to shots from outside the box. So it was pretty nothing half for Real Madrid, but they're still 2-0 up and they're coasting in many ways.
They certainly are at present. Attention turns to the Europa League on Thursday night, and it's quite a lineup. First up, Spurs are in Dortmund on BT Sport 2. Then from 7:15 on BT Sport Europe, we'll be building up to the first ever meeting in European competition between Liverpool and Manchester United. It should be quite a night. But tonight, of course, it's all about Real Madrid and Roma. We've had no goals in the first half. Of course, we can expect some in the second. Surely.
This programme is brought to you by Heineken, UEFA Champions League sponsor.
The battle lines are drawn in the Champions League.
The stage is big, the stakes are high. It's all erupting.
The big games keep coming in the Champions League, live on BT Sports.
I'm guessing which one it is.
Is
this McCain or Mum's?
Oh, I've no idea.
Mum. These are McCain's, definitely.
Can you tell by the smell? Can you tell by the taste? Can you tell anything? Sure, it's Mum's.
I think this one's McCain.
It's hard. Should I have another one?
New McCain roasts, just like Mum's. Now you're talking.
Nissan's award-winning crossovers with all Modi technologies. Get up to £2,000 contribution towards your deposit and 4.99% APR representative, plus 2 years free servicing on the crossover range when you order between the 11th and the 15th of March. Your story starts here.
Can't binge watch any more box sets. Time to binge on culture.
Fly and stay with Expedia and save. Then spend it on something amazing. Expedia.co.uk. ATOL protected.
Get ready for the off with Betfair's fantastic Day 1 Cheltenham offer. Back a winner and get 3 free bets on every race during the first day of Cheltenham. So get ready for the exciting, the nail-biting and the tension-heightening. Back a winner and get 3 free bets. Visit Betfair today. Betfair. Tap, 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 boom.
When jazz first hit New York hit back. One man heard no color in music. All John Hammond wanted was great jazz.
Your burgers made from 100% British and Irish beef? Do you like proper cheddar cheese? Do you like rashers of Beechwood smoked bacon? Do you like a slice of juicy tomato? Crisp Batavia lettuce? Grilled onions and our exclusive Big Mac sauce, all served up in a golden brioche style bun? Then join the club, the new Bacon Clubhouse from McDonald's.
Dizemos não ao racismo. Nein zum Rassismus.
Nei till rasism.
No al racismo.
No to racism.
No al racismo.
This programme is brought to you by MasterCard, UEFA Champions League sponsor.
It's goalless in the Bernabeu. Real Madrid 0, Roma 0 at half-time. We're hoping for better things in the second half. What has to be done for that to change, Ria?
It seems like Real Madrid need to take the game a bit more seriously. And it's a Champions League game. They've got to go out there and be very professional with what they're doing. And I just think they've got to be a bit more responsible in the full-back areas and the midfield areas just to keep the door shut at the back, because this Roma team, they've had opportunities to go 1 or 2-0 up here, and if that happens again in the second half, it could become a very nervy night for this Real Madrid team.
Like you were saying, sometimes you get these games where you're coming back and you've got a lead, you don't quite know how to approach it. It looks a little bit that way, doesn't it?
It is, and they know the back of their mind, they're thinking to themselves, we don't have to do anything really. You know, we can see this game out, but your natural instinct is to go and attack. Your natural instinct is to try to win games. And I'm sure that's sort of burning inside them at the moment. But the fact of the matter is they don't have to go and force anything, and they're through to the quarter-finals.
Oh, the sides are coming out, but Roma will be quite encouraged, won't they, by their first half performance?
I think you're right. Quietly confident that I think they can get a result. I think there's every chance that they can get a goal at the start of this second half, and I think the Real Madrid fans and the players will probably be a little bit nervous, considering that wasn't a great showing in that first half, even though they dominated possession.
OK, let's hope for something special in the second half. Steve McManaman and Darren Fletcher are your commentators.
Thanks, Gary. Well, if the weekend game against Celta Vigo is anything to go by, we might be. Real didn't really get started until the second half of the weekend. 6 of the 7 goals that they scored were scored after the break, including all 4 of Ronaldo's and the one for Gareth Bale as well. But in all honesty, Steve, they'll have to play a lot better than we saw in the first 45 minutes.
They'll have to play much, much better, won't they? As a spectacle, the game hasn't been great. Listen to the boys in the studio. I completely agree with them. Madrid have to take it more serious, but Roma will be happy. They're still in the game. You want to see a little bit more excitement from the team in white. They are the home side. They are the team that should be entertaining their crowds.
Neither Zinedine Zidane, I was going to say neither Zinedine Zidane nor Luciano Spalletti have made a change, but there's going to be one here for Roma at the start of this second half. William Van Keur, who started the first leg in the Stadio Olimpico, coming on for Pjanic. Remember, he had that one really good shot at goal, didn't he, in the first leg that just whistled wide in the second half. So Van Keur comes on, who you'd say is a more defensive-minded midfield player than Pjanic, Steve.
Yeah, you don't know whether Pjanic substitution was an injury, because he's definitely a defensive midfielder, and we all know that Pjanic likes to get forward, is far more attack-minded. So it'll be interesting to see how Pjanic is.
Van Keur, who can slot into a similar role that Pjanic played in the first half, in the midfield 2 alongside Keita, with Perotti looking to slot in and increase the numbers when he can. Real, who are into the knockout stage for the 19th season in a row, and they've reached the semi-finals or better of the Champions League for the last 5 years. There's Perotti, Toni Kroos in there for Real Madrid, and then Casemiro gets it from Sergio Ramos. There's Luka Modric, James Rodriguez, Marcelo. Here's Kroos, Modric, and Danilo. Ronaldo waiting for the cross, it's too high for him, and then taken away from Gareth Bale by Florenzi. Pepe drills it out towards Bale, the last touch of Salah. Kroos to James Rodriguez, who's onside, and Ronaldo was there to be picked out. And the ball in from James, not quite good enough.
No, the quality is lacking again. That's an easy ball. Certainly for someone who's, I think he's onside actually, but this is an easy ball, Fletch. He looks up and he overhits it in the end.
It's Pepe, Ronaldo, Kroos, Marcelo, who seems to play constantly in a very advanced position down the left. Here is Pepe, that's a better ball in, and important defending by Sukanovic. Szczesny knows how important that header was.
Yeah, there's the central defender popping up in the left wing position, and it was actually a nice ball with a swinger. You see his left foot, he wasn't used to whipping it in there. It's a better ball than the James Rodriguez one prior.
Well, he can stay forward Pepe for the corner, joined by Sergio Ramos. Away by Salah. Here's El Shaarawy. Suppose you put this down as a moral victory of sorts already for Roma. In the Champions League this season away from home, they've never conceded more than 3 goals in a match, and that was against Bate Borisov, 4 in Leverkusen against Bayer Leverkusen, and they let...
Yeah, they'll be happier if there's a nil after 79 minutes.
Be touched on by Ronaldo to Marcelo, and then Ronaldo so back towards Marcelo, who's still going here. Szczesny with his foot in the end. Then Ronaldo, and then James. Szczesny got the save in, and then Florenzi made the clearance. It's the first real moment of panic back there for Roma. James Rodriguez with the ball in towards Gareth Bale. And Digne can see it out there towards the far side and then tidy things up to Perotti. And they weren't quite sure, though, were they, at the back there, Roma, how to deal with that Real Madrid flurry. Another one might be on its way. Sloppy, though, from Sergio Ramos, and now they can go the other way with a pacey Salah. Ramos gets a foot in, breaks here for Salah. What an opportunity, they've missed another one! How many chances will Roma need to score a goal tonight?
And how many chances will they need to get one on target? Again, Madrid horrific at the back. They get caught in this left-back position, slot it in. Oh, wide again. See Keylor Navas saying, where on earth are my defenders? You're too busy wanting to play up front. Just do your job.
Here's Kroos. James back to Bale. Can roll away from Perotti and Modric. James Rodriguez only into Florenzi. From a neutral standpoint, Steve, the approach of Real Madrid is making this really good to watch. If they did shut up shop and coast through with the aggregate lead, I think we'd all be disappointed, but they are so susceptible.
Yeah. They're so open at the back, Fletch. That's how they play. They try and outgun teams most of the time, they do it. But when they come up against real decent opposition, who are a bit more savvy, a bit more clever, they'll concede goals, and they should have conceded tonight.
Here's Pepe. Van Kuren with his first tackle since coming on at half-time. Now Dzeko. Van Kuren. I think you can already say that if they go out tonight, Roma, they will look back on this with so many regrets, because they've had so many good opportunities and haven't taken them. They should, in actual fact, at this stage, be in control of the tie, not just back in it.
Well, they could well be, because Real Madrid haven't had gilt-edged chances like Roma have had. And even if they would have scored one, Flex, it's just to build that pressure, just to get the crowd anxious, just to get the crowd on the Real Madrid backs if Roma were leading 1-0. Yet they've left them off the hook yet again.
James to Ronaldo. Still Ronaldo. He's dealt well so far tonight, hasn't he, Szczesny, with those long-range Real Madrid efforts. Here's Alessandro Florenzi, the Roma captain. Now Salah. Marcelo gets a foot in. Danilo can bring it forward. Lovely flick by Bale. Now Casemiro. Ronaldo's made the run. Casemiro goes for it himself, and the deflection lifts it over the bar, and Real Madrid get the corner. Fantastic little flick, though, from Bale in the build-up.
Yeah, lovely movement between him and Danilo, it's the shot from Cristiano Ronaldo, simple enough save for Chesney. He'll be happy if Cristiano takes shots from 25 yards most of the time. That was just weird and wide, but he's not to know.
Only kept one clean sheet so far in the Champions League this season. Roma, match day 6 against Bate Borisov, which essentially got them through. Kroos for the corner, it's away by Keita. It's Marcelo, who again is in this very advanced position for Real Madrid, which leaves a lot of holes when the home side's attack breaks down. James in, cleared as far as Marcelo. Manolas apologises for the sloppy defensive header.
Yeah, and that's an area, if you are going to play against Real Madrid later on this competition, if they do the business tonight, that area on Madrid's left-hand side, that is one area that you'd have to exploit. Because he cannot help himself by running forward, can he, Marcelo? Has no defensive intuition whatsoever.
Just to let you know as well that Arsenal have navigated their way through their FA Cup replay tonight. 4-0 they've won at Hull City. So you'll see their game on Sunday lunchtime in the quarter-finals against Watford at the Emirates, preceded by Fletch and Sav on Sunday. Pepe's challenge, Real Madrid with the throw-in. Wonder how frustrated he is inside, Steve. I mean, he looks pretty frustrated there, but they've done everything that he wanted them to do tonight, apart from take the chances when they've been there.
Well, he must be incredibly frustrated is the answer. They've stayed in the game, they've limited Real Madrid to pot shots from outside the area generally, and they've had 3 wonderful opportunities, one-on-one with the goalkeeper. They just haven't finished them off.
Bale challenged there by Van Keur. And Keita back to Florenzi. Well, that was confidently done. Well, he gives it away to Marcelo, wins it back for Roma. Keita's ball up to Dzeko.
Sorry, Flex, look at this area again where Marcelo just leaves it because he wants to go forward. It's just mad.
There's the space, Florenzi might be in! Navas with the save and then Ramos behind, and it's another opportunity again from the space left by Marcelo.
Yeah. It's just mad. You can see it a mile off. The boys said it in the studio. Look at him chasing back. He just doesn't want to know. Wants to go forwards all day long and he'll sprint forwards. There's no way on earth he's sprinting back, helping out his defensive teammates. Another good chance for them.
In goes the corner from Perotti, and it was Pepe's header that went fizzing back towards his own goal. And Keita was in there challenging too. Another opportunity for Roma. Perotti a little bit deeper this time. Manolas is in there and Keylor Navas has made another save. It's astonishing, really, the number of clear chances Roma are having.
Well, you want them to score, Roma, don't you? Just to liven up this Real Madrid side. Because they have been fast asleep, just coasting all night.
Zukanovic and Dzeko and Manolas all in there for the corner. Away by James Rodriguez. Too deep for Dzeko. Ramos, though, didn't seem to get much of a shout, did he? Here's James Rodriguez. And Florenzi buzzing around. Now Bale. James Rodriguez. Ronaldo was the only Real Madrid player in the penalty area. Here's Kroos. Now Danilo up from right back. And he goes towards Ronaldo, Zukanovic away, and then Modric onto it.
Yeah, it takes another big deflection. He's played well, Modric. That was a good hit, actually, but instantly it took a big deflection, sailed well wide.
James Rodriguez with the corner. I think the ball had gone out and come back in again.
Here's the other chance. Manolas is the one who's alive. Good strike from the centre defender. It wraps his left foot around it. Keylor Navas does well. It may have just been going wide. That's what Seydou Keita thinks of it.
It's a good job he's in form tonight, Keylor Navas, protecting this proud record of not having conceded a goal in the Champions League so far this season. But there's more work potentially to do here. Salah, Marcelo, did some defending there, Steve.
Yeah, but he got caught out again. Oh.
Here's Van Keur. Only to Gareth Bale. Casemiro. Ronaldo. Now Kroos. Bale. James Rodriguez. Slipped in towards Kroos. We've got a Spanish director tonight. I'm pretty sure that was a bit of a rallying call for Real Madrid.
I think so. 5 slow-mos on Real Madrid faces. You can tell he's certainly Spanish.
Still 0-0. Real Madrid still with the 2-0 aggregate lead from the goals in the first leg in the Stadio Olimpico, but they've ridden their luck so far tonight in the Bernabeu. Here's Cristiano Ronaldo. Manolas has come across. Ronaldo widens the angle and then tried to whip it across. James Rodriguez was hoping for a better ball in. Ronaldo was going for goal all the way.
Fletcher should have crossed it. That was a shot. There was one thing on his mind, that was to pull the trigger, and really he should have looked to try and cross it, because James Rodriguez was in a great position.
So Gareth Bale has lasted an hour. His first start for Real Madrid since the 17th of January. He's missed the 8 matches, came off the bench at the weekend, started tonight, and now he's replaced by Lucas Vazquez. One of the players who came through the academy here at Real Madrid, went off to play for Espanyol, and then they used the buyback clause that they so often like to do. How do you think that'll change the dynamic of things, Steve?
Well, hopefully it'll just liven Real Madrid up slightly, because they've been all over the place, to be very honest, tonight. Lucas Vazquez will come on. Hopefully Zidane's given instructions for some of the other players as well. I think Gareth Bale's had put a really good shift in tonight. He's worked hard, he's got his fitness back up. You don't expect him to be at full tilt. It's a game when they don't necessarily need to go and win, they just need to be more professional the way they go about it tonight. So it's a simple enough decision. You see Lucas Vazquez has gone over there on the right-hand side.
Sardinia looking to make his way forward. You presume that, bearing in mind it was almost bang on the hour, that was a preconceived agreement between Zidane and Bale that he'd give them an hour tonight.
Yeah, you'd have thought so.
It's James Rodriguez with Zidane prowling that technical area behind him. He's been a constant figure on the touchline all the way through. There's Danilo. Keita got a cross for Roma.
Well, he certainly can't be happy with the performance tonight, Zidane. He wants them to put on more of a show than they have done.
Salah easily away from Marcelo. Gives James some defending to do. In it goes, it's a good ball in, and El Shaarawy was sniffing around in there again. Surely a goal for Roma has to come at some stage. Toni Kroos. Luka Modric. Lucas Vazquez, who can have a go at Digne for the first time and deliver some quality in to Cristiano Ronaldo. The substitute made it, and Real Madrid's ace marksman finished it.
And everybody can breathe a huge sigh of relief now. Lovely play by Lucas Vazquez, one-on-one. His only thought is to get a yard of space and get it into the danger area. Leave Cristiano Ronaldo to do the rest. He was one-on-one with Manolas. He pulled off the back of him and he sprints in front of him. And that's all it's needed. Lucas Digne backing off, step over into the danger area. Ronaldo gets across Manolas. No defensive cover in there, just one-on-one. The master marksman sticks it in the back of the net.
Well, he's the best in the business in the Champions League. That's his 90th goal in the competition. He's 353rd in the white of Real Madrid. And he's 40th this season. And it keeps him well on the way to the 50-goal mark, which he's managed to equal or surpass for 5 seasons in a row. And it's the old adage, Steve, if you don't take your chances when they're there against the big clubs, eventually they'll find a way to score one themselves.
Yeah, as you rightly said, Fletch, it's hard to keep Madrid quiet. And you see there, he's one-on-one with Manolas. No defensive cover at all. And if you see the movement before that, as Chesney takes a whack, Cristiano, you see he's got a nice shiner there. That'll be a beauty in the morning. But his movement is excellent, Cristiano Ronaldo, just off the back of Manolas. Manolas can't see him, and suddenly he anticipates it better than everybody else. That's why he scored so many goals.
I wonder how big a problem that might be as the game wears on for Chesney, because if that starts to swell, it could impair his vision quite significantly. Morgan De Sanctis is the goalkeeper on the bench for Roma tonight, so it's worth keeping an eye on that. It's an astonishing statistic about Cristiano Ronaldo as we see that lump underneath the eye of Chesney. It's his 336th match for Real Madrid tonight. He's got 36 hat-tricks. There can't be many players with that big a sample size who average a hat-trick every 10 matches for their club. It's astonishing, isn't it?
Yeah, it's absolutely astonishing facts. You know, there's another one, 13 goals in 8 games. I mean, you just can't believe it in this day and age. You really can't. And him and the other fella from up the road in Barcelona, they are just rewriting the record books every single year, and it is brilliant to see and brilliant to talk about.
It took him 400 less matches, didn't it, than Raúl to score 323 for Real Madrid, when you think what a good goal scorer he was. And when you need a big moment in a big game like this, you look to your big player, and that's exactly what's happened for Real Madrid. The 3-0 cushion should surely be enough. And those chances that Roma have created tonight in the Bernabeu, in abundance as well, very good ones, have come to nothing. Florenzi's ball in is headed away by Pepe, and now Kroos, and Ronaldo. Well, he's sniffing again here, and he gives it to James Rodriguez, and Real Madrid are in for 2, and that's exactly what they get. Ronaldo the provider, James Rodriguez on target this time.
Yeah, and that was a nice goal, actually. I don't know whether Chesney was a bit unsighted because of that hit he's just received, Fletch, but James Rodriguez makes a really, really good run, very unselfish, and Ronaldo puts him in. Goalkeeper shouldn't be really getting beat from that angle, but you forgive him it. Ronaldo puts him in, just fires it on target across the goalkeeper, and it flies through his legs.
3 minutes and 38 seconds between the goal scored by Cristiano Ronaldo and the second one scored by James Rodriguez to double the Real Madrid lead on the night, double it on aggregate as well. It's only the 6th goal that James Rodriguez has scored this season, the Golden Boot winner at the World Cup in Brazil.
All seems nice and comfortable now. Normal service resumed.
Takes their tally of goals this season in all competitions to 107. Here's Salah with a good ball in. And it was El Shaarawy in there for Roma, and Danilo who had to come up. There's Perotti's corner. Marcelo forward, and here they come again. James Rodriguez on the charge. And now Lucas Vázquez, Cristiano Ronaldo! There's a collector's item for you. You don't often see Ronaldo waste those.
Oh, no. And you mentioned before how they scored 6 in Celta in the second half, and Roma can't keep the score line down to below 3. Well, that's what it looks like now. They've suddenly gone from being nice and comfortable to being all over the place, and Ronnie should have scored, shouldn't he?
He won't sleep tonight after missing that.
I doubt it.
I know that we're into the Ronaldo statistics at the moment. You just mentioned the 13 that he's got in the Champions League. That's 2 more than Roma as a team. They've got 11.
Well, you can see that tonight, the way they've spent the opportunities. They had 4 forwards on at the start of the game, but actually it didn't matter because the way they finished, they could have had 10 forwards on. They just can't seem to get it in the back of the net.
Penny for Spalletti's thoughts now. Got the game plan just right, didn't he, apart from the finishing?
Yeah, and it looks as if Francesco Totti's going to bid a farewell to the Bernabeu by coming on as a late substitute.
Modric forward, only to Manolas.
It'd be nice to see, wouldn't it, if Totti comes on?
Yeah, made his 750th appearance for Roma on Friday in the win against Fiorentina. Florenzi's ball towards Dzeko.
There's the great man.
It's going to be Stefan El Shaarawy to come off. 39-year-old Francesco Totti about to come on. Made his debut for Roma 23 years ago as a 16-year-old. Fantastic career. Cristiano Ronaldo. Got the scent of blood in their nostrils now, haven't they, Real Madrid?
And he'll certainly be looking for more Cristiano now the game's opened up a bit and they can hit Roma on the break.
Modric. James Rodriguez. Marcelo. It's Casemiro. Luka Modric. Lifted up towards Vázquez. Through to Szczesny. Wonder whether it might be in the mind of Zidane to possibly protect the players on yellow cards. Sergio Ramos is one of them, who's never too far away from a booking in a game, and Casemiro is the other one. Toni Kroos for Real Madrid. James Rodriguez. Ronaldo. Florenzi can stab it away. It's going to come straight back again. Casemiro stepped in front of Salah. Marcelo, Modric was looking to let it run. Perotti's in there. There's Marcelo, and then Ronaldo! Well, he waited and waited and waited, and then couldn't quite pull the trigger in the effective way he wanted to. Here comes Francesco Totti, surely onto the pitch at the Bernabeu for the last time, replacing Stefan El Shaarawy. Of course, there's a bit of previous between Totti and Zidane. He was part of the Italy side the evening that Zidane headbutted Materazzi in the World Cup final, and he's getting a real round of warm applause from the Bernabeu supporters here in Madrid. It's been a good one, Steve, hasn't he, Totti?
Oh, he's been a superstar, hasn't he? Anyone who can play at this level for as many years, you've rightly mentioned, Fletch, and all that. His beloved club of Roma deserves a huge amount of applause and credit.
It's his 97th European match for Roma tonight. He finds Florenzi. It's a good ball in, not too bad in the direction of Perotti and Dzeko. Florenzi actually came on for Francesco Totti to make his Roma debut, and as a boy born in the Rome suburbs, that must be quite an experience. Here's a Real Madrid change. And Hesse is coming on to replace Luka Modric. He's another one of the players who's been out for a couple of matches with a slight knock, so no real surprise that Zidane is taking him off with the job done, and Hesse, who scored in the first leg, is coming on.
Yeah, very much so, and he's one of the most important players, actually, Luka Modric, so it's great to see him back, pulling the strings in midfield. See the applause he's getting from the Real Madrid faithful as Hesse enters the field.
It was his first ever Champions League goal in the first leg, Hesse. Totti gets it out there to Perotti. We've got away from Danilo. Vasquez is tracking him, and in it goes towards Dzeko. It was Sergio Ramos across for Real Madrid, and then an industrial challenge from Zukanovic on James Rodriguez, yellow card. Well, let's remind you about what's coming up in the Champions League tomorrow on BT Sport Europe. 4:45 the first one, Zenit against Benfica. Benfica ahead from the first leg. And then straight after that, 7 o'clock the build-up starts. Stamford Bridge the destination for Chelsea against Paris Saint-Germain. Chelsea 2-1 down from the first leg. BT Sport Europe HD from 7. And we've got more matches for you in the Europa League on Thursday night. 2 absolute crackers. Borussia Dortmund against Tottenham from Germany, 5:30 BT Sport 2 HD. And then for the first time in European competition, Liverpool against Manchester United, the first leg at Anfield, 7:15 BT Sport Europe HD.
Should be a quiet affair that night.
Well, Ronaldo is adjudged to have moved Manolas aside. You can see that he disagrees with it.
Yeah, it was definitely his arm. It wasn't his shoulder.
Here's Keita. Pepe steps in for Real Madrid. Here's Hesse. Little nutmeg there on Keita. Vasquez is roaring forward. Zukanovic got the block in. Here's James. Now Kroos. And a shot by Kroos straight to Szczesny. Defeat tonight means that Roma can concentrate on a top 3 finish in Serie A, the top 3 qualifying for the Champions League next season from Italy. 5 of the 10 matches they've got left are against teams in the bottom half. They've got the 2 Milan clubs to play, who are pretty beatable as well these days. The tough one on the schedule is against Napoli, who are just above them in second at the moment in late April. The form they're in, they should have a pretty good chance of finishing in the top 3. Seems to be quite a gap between Juventus and Napoli and the rest. Here's James. Szczesny's body language indicated he felt he got it covered all the way.
Oh yeah, I don't think it was a great effort, to be honest. Real difficult angle to whip his foot around it to threaten the goalkeeper, not enough pace on it.
One bit of good news that Roma have had recently as well is that Kevin Strootman's back in the first team squad.
Yeah.
He's been out for 13 months. He played recently against Palermo. He's not in the Champions League squad, but he's such a good player and he's been out for so long. He's a key man for them to have back.
It's really nice to see. Anybody who's been out for that amount of time as a professional footballer, it's great to see him back on. Hopefully he'll have a little bit of luck now and have a real good run in the side. Very good player, huge talent.
Louis van Gaal's always been a big admirer,
lots
hasn't
of
he?
people have, Fletch, lots of people have been admirers of him.
It's all about the Champions League pretty much the rest of the way for Real Madrid. They've got the El Clasico to come in just over 3 weeks' time. There could be a couple more as well if the draw sends it that way in the Champions League. Roma get the corner, and Francesco Totti trots out to take it. There's Digne, and the block by Casemiro. You could see, couldn't you, the moment the first goal went in from Ronaldo, they knew, didn't they, Roma, that all the stuffing was knocked out of them and those missed chances came back to haunt them.
Yeah, very much so. Incredibly frustrating night for the staff of Roma.
In towards Zukanovic, and straight at Keylor Navas. Toni Kroos. It's Hesse. Towards Ronaldo, away by Zukanovic. Kroos to Vasquez. I think there's an element of relief about Zidane tonight, Steve, because he'll be acutely aware that defensively they've been all over the place, and on another night they might well be in real trouble by now.
And also, this is all about the rest of the season for him. They've given up on the league. The fans and the newspapers certainly have, so he's not under any pressure in the league situation. But the Champions League is what it's all about. Speaking to Milo Butragueño when we were in Roma a couple of weeks ago, it was all about this tournament. They've won it 10 times. They're synonymous with winning it. It's how's Zidane going to do in this trophy, and he's navigated his way through, which is another tick. But they're going to have to improve if they want to challenge to win this trophy, Fletch.
There's Marcelo, Ronaldo, Casemiro. James Rodriguez lifts it forward. Zukanovic can step in. I mean, it does seem bizarre to say what we're saying when you've just seen a graphic that says 36 attempts on goal for Real Madrid compared to 9 for Roma, but the better chances, bizarrely, have been made by the Italian team tonight.
Yeah, when you shoot from 50 yards, that goes down as one of the stats. It's nonsense, really. Some of the shots have been downright selfish tonight from Real Madrid.
Hesse loops the cross in, cleared away as far as Casemiro, and then cleared away by Francesco Totti. Here's Pepe. James Rodriguez, Ronaldo. Well, if he'd have carried on running there, James Rodriguez, it might well have found its way through to him, but I don't think he really expected what he was going to get from Ronaldo. Is that submission from Spalletti?
I don't know who he's talking to.
There's Mateo Kovacic coming on. for Casemiro. So one of the players who is on the yellow card, Casemiro.
He's done very well. They've got lots of choice in there, so they can mix and match at various times. It's good to see Kovacic. He's a good young player. Very, very talented boy. Spends a lot of money on him.
Ronaldo gets it through. Danilo then gets it back, and Ronaldo's in the middle, and he's the target. Just had it taken away from him at the last minute.
You can see why he scores so many goals, though, Fletch, can't you? He gets himself into the right areas. Look at his speed and his movement. Slow, quick dart into the box. Right until the final seconds of the game, he wants to score more and more and more goals. Hungry for it. His desire to get in the area is amazing.
Marcelo runs into Florenzi. Here's Danilo. James Rodriguez slipped over. No contact on him. Roma worked that out nicely, didn't they? Because they were being pressed quite hard by Real Madrid around the penalty area. Ramos then blocks Florenzi's ball forward. There's the final change, and with Gareth Bale off, Spalletti feels it's safe to send on Mike on, Steve.
Yeah, he's saying okay to getting the whistles when he goes off. It's Mike come on, another stalwart.
It's part of Jose Mourinho's Champions League winning squad in 2010. Here's Totti, and now Florenzi. Well, if Florenzi went the other way, he would have been in on goal, wouldn't he? As it is, Hesse can come marauding forward the other way for Real Madrid, and he's got James to his right, Ronaldo through the middle. Here's James Rodriguez, and then Zukanovic in the right place at the near post, with Ronaldo again frustratingly waiting for the ball in.
James got a bit of cramp there. It was a nice run by Hesse. Yeah, it was just overhit slightly. He needs the better ball. Likewise, if he could have pulled it back. You see Lucas Vazquez shouting for it. I don't think the pass to Ronaldo was on, actually. One happy fan behind the goal there.
Kroos out to take the Real Madrid corner. Just over 3 minutes to go. Ramos was challenging for it. Danilo's going to hit one from a long way, which might have looked promising to him when it left his right boot, but then rose quite sharply.
See, there's another attempt. I call that a clearance.
They're up towards 40 now, aren't they?
Exactly. But when they're 40 yards wide, I don't think they should count.
Salah, who might have had a couple, should have had a couple for Roma tonight. And there's another opportunity, and a fantastic save by Keylor Navas to deny Diego Perotti. That's a really good save down low by Navas for Real Madrid.
Oh, well done, Keylor Navas. Hasn't had much to do, certainly since the goals went in from Real Madrid. But wow, was he alert and on his toes. Salah walks past Marcelo again. Lovely volley by Perotti. Comes off the post, actually, and then bangs into Keylor Navas. This is far too easy, but we've seen it all night. Nice ball in. They just haven't had it tonight, have they, Roma? That came off the post onto Keylor Navas, but did what he needed to do, was keep the ball out the back of the net. That's what goalies want. They want clean sheets all round.
He's a couple of minutes away from a 6th successive clean sheet in the Champions League this season. He's had to be patient, hasn't he? He was a substitute 48 times when Iker Casillas was here, Keylor Navas, and almost became a Manchester United player when De Gea was supposed to go the other way.
Yeah, never wanted to leave, but was nearly forced into leaving, which was disappointing for him. And he's responded really well this year. He's been one of the big bright points. Done really well, Keylor Navas.
Into the final minute of the 90. Real Madrid cruising through to the last 8 of the competition, a competition they've dominated over the years. Here's Lucas Vázquez. Hesse. Ronaldo. Maicon was in there. James Rodriguez. And away by Zukanovic for Real Madrid corner. Was that just a hint of a smile on the face of Zinedine Zidane?
A hint of relief tinge with a smile as Cristiano receives a bit of a kick off Maicon. It's a fair night's work, Fletch, but it hasn't been overly impressive, has it? Not at all.
There goes the corner, which was directed towards James Rodriguez. Francesco Totti's got time.
To dribble out to the back, Totti. Very nice. Yeah, but I think Zidane will take this. They played Saturday afternoon, got a good result. Another decent result Tuesday evening. Move on to the next round and watch the other fixtures take place over the next week or so.
3 additional minutes at the end of this one. Sergio Ramos away. And then Kovacic to Marcelo. I think there'd be a fair amount of soul-searching on the plane ride home, though, to Rome for the players, particularly the ones who have squandered the opportunities that they've managed to create here tonight. It could have been an historic night for them. They certainly did enough in terms of creating things to overturn the first leg deficit, which nobody else has managed to do. 2-0 down after the first leg of a knockout tie in the Champions League, and it was there for the taking for them tonight. Here's Perotti, in towards Dzeko, Ramos across for Real Madrid.
First, it changes things. No matter how good or how experienced the other side are.
Manolas and Zukanovic have gone up for the corner. Keylor Navas with a confident punch away. Hesse gets the better of Salah. Here's Ronaldo. Hesse shows too much of that to Digne. Diego Perotti. Francesco Totti to Van Keur. Perotti's got Digne supporting him, but he'll get the cross in himself towards Edin Dzeko, who couldn't quite reach it. Story of Roma's night encapsulated there.
It's just all been about nearly there, hasn't it? Nearly. And that was another one. Lovely cross in, just evades Ed and Dzeko at the far post.
Here's Florenzi. And now Salah. And Florenzi's carried on running, and again, nearly for Roma. So there it is. The full-time whistle in the Santiago Bernabeu, and Zinedine Zidane and Real Madrid march on. Spalletti will reflect on chances squandered in Spain tonight. Real Madrid march on towards Milan in May. The 11th European title remains a target for them. And regardless of form or defensive deficiencies that we saw plenty of tonight, no one will want to face them in the last 8 of the Champions League. Full-time, 2-0 to Real Madrid on the night. And they win this last 16 tie, 4-0 on aggregate.
Well, a scoreline doesn't always tell the full story. It could have been different, but it wasn't. Real Madrid have, in the end, cruised through to the quarter-finals of the UEFA Champions League. And it was a goal from Ronaldo, of course, that changed things and got them into a winning pattern. And overall, bit of a walk in the park, really, Ria.
Yeah, lackadaisical, to say the least. But they got the job done, and 2-0 probably flattered them because Roma had many chances tonight to really kind of got back into the game. But as you said, Ronaldo comes up with that all-important goal that really just changes the game, and it took the sting out of Roma.
Shows the difference of a great goal scorer, really, doesn't it, Michael? Roma had chances, missed them. Ronaldo, bit of movement, Bosch, all over.
That's why he's one of the greatest, if not the greatest, on the planet. So clinical. You look at the other end and you see Salah that does everything great outside the box, but end product, whether it's a finish, whether it's a cross. Dzeko had a chance or two. So yeah, when you've got these class players in your team, then you can rely on them to get you through the hard times.
It wasn't a masterclass by any means, was it?
That performance won't scare anybody else in the Champions League. I think before you would have thought Real Madrid one of the top teams, but that was, I thought, careless on their behalf. They could have easily been down in that game. The only difference is they took their chances. Roma had some terrific chances, were so poor in front of goal, and they should have scored at least 1, if not 2 goals, Roma. OK,
lots more to discuss shortly. Another cracking lineup of Champions League action tomorrow night. It's an early start, though. We begin with the second leg of Zenit against Benfica, with the Portuguese champions leading 1-0 from the first leg. Then it's all eyes on Stamford Bridge to see Goose Hiddink, Chelsea side, overcome PSG. That's what they want to do. The Blues trail the French champions 2-1 from the first leg. You really don't want to miss that one. Both games are on BT Sport Europe. But tonight it's all been about Ronaldo, of course. Who else? Another goal, his 40th of the season. He never lets them down, does he?
This programme is brought to you by Heineken, UEFA Champions League sponsor.
UEFA Europa League night to remember, exclusively live on BT Sports.
Complain away.
What's this I hear about your incredible Cheltenham offer being available to everyone, even riffraff?
That's right. It's one incredible offer.
Money back as a free bet if your horse finishes second in all races at the Cheltenham Festival.
That's every single race, every single day. Surely not for the great unwashed too.
Oh, then, Nelly. Do they get their own life-size Ruby Welsh cake?
No. No, they don't. Thanks, Paddy Power.
You're welcome.
A birthday like last year? No chance.
Fly and stay with Expedia and save. Then spend it on something amazing. Expedia.co.uk. ATOL protected.
New is great, isn't it? So we're launching a new national newspaper. It's got a new approach, a new outlook, a new style, a new layout, a new mix of opinions. And with this new approach, this new optimism, we bring a new energy, a new type of writing from a new set of writers with a new conversation. It even feels new. Welcome to the new day, open-minded to the point and positive, just like you. Judge for yourself. Trial price only 25p. Seize the new day.
The day the virus hit us, everything collapsed. We were just ordinary New Yorkers. But today, we have decided to fight back. Today, we are The Division.
Tom Clancy's The Division. New content first on Xbox. Out now at Sainsbury's.
Take credit cards, Gun. Wouldn't it be fantastic if there were one website out there where you could take a butcher's at a whole bunch of credit cards and check out what sort of deal you could score off them like? That'd be well fantastic.
Go compare.
Oh, fantastic!
It's all good news, there's loads to choose at Go Compare. From loans to plastic, they're quite fantastic. Nothing quite compares to Go Compare.
Oh, fantastic!
This is a cow, as drawn by Laura Evans, aged 9 1/4. Apparently, it's the kind of cow McDonald's use, as they wouldn't use good beef just to make burgers. Her mum says so. Hi, Beth. Ted is a butcher. He wants to show them what he thinks makes a great burger. The right feed, fresh air, and whole cuts of 4/4 and flank, a pinch of salt and pepper. And that's it. Exactly what goes into a McDonald's burger.
Nissan's award-winning crossovers with all Modi technologies. Get up to £2,000 contribution towards your deposit and 4.99% APR representative, plus 2 years free servicing on the crossover range when you order between the 11th and the 15th of March. Your story starts here.
Oh, look. My phone is blowing up.
Mobile Strike. Download and free from the App Store. Ben Fawcett wrote on the Paddy Power Facebook page, couldn't get into the casino with trainers, Paddy. We hear. But with our slick new casino app, there is no dress code. Just choose your game. European roulette. Drag your chips to, let's go with when I lost my virginity, 36. Then spin it right round, baby, right round, and yes! So glad we waited, Stacey. Sign up and get £5 completely free. Play Paddy Power Casino on mobile, tablet or desktop now.
This programme is brought to you by MasterCard, UEFA Champions League sponsor.
Welcome back. We've seen Real Madrid go through to the quarter-finals of the Champions League at the expense of Roma. 4-0 on aggregate, 2-0 on the evening. It could have been different, but I suppose in the end, Real Madrid were more emphatic with their finishing, Real.
Yeah, they're much more clinical. When you've got a Cristiano Ronaldo in your team, you get opportunities, he invariably puts it in the back of the net and punishes you. I think this was more of a performance about this not exert too much energy. I mean, the goal here, the sub comes on, takes on the... But here, look at Keita. He points to the centre-half, go out to meet Modric. He's got to get back into position where the centre-half should be to cover the ball across the face of the goal, cover that front post. He doesn't do it, and you see Ronaldo's run here. Michael, you can talk about the run.
Well, it's a goal scorer's run, isn't it? You know, you wait as a wide or as a centre forward, waiting for your wide man to just pull that leg back, and then as soon as he does it, because the centre half knows that what space he wants, but it's just a case of time in the run, so you just get in front of him. And I've said before, half a yard at the near post is
just that
way
little
better
gamble,
than
isn't
a lot of
it, on
space at the
just guessing exactly where it's going to go, and if you can just get in front of them,
That's
if it goes where you're going to go, you're there.
That's it.
A lot of the time it doesn't, though. That's
the defender knows that's exactly the space that you want.
Yeah.
But whether he can stop it, it's all about the timing, and it's got to be precise.
And some of the time, it doesn't matter if he even gets a touch. If he puts that centre half off or the goalkeeper, invariably someone gets an opportunity to score at the back post after that.
Is it me, or is some of the defending we see nowadays pretty amateurish?
Well, no, it's dreadful, really, because actually Roma, it sounds strange, they were actually in control of this game. Real Madrid didn't have a ton of chances. And Manolas has no chance in that situation because he's looking at the ball. And once Cristiano sees that space, he runs into it.
Well, let's have another look at it so you can explain what you mean.
Watch the left side. Keita's in the middle. He's a central midfield player. He should go press the ball. Watch the left-sided centre-back, Sukanovic there, 87. He goes to the ball. He should be in the box next to Manolas. So Keita, he's pointing to him there. Just watch what happens as you run it on. He goes to the ball. The left-sided centre-back should be there. Keita should be at the edge of the box. And watch where the ball comes in. Watch where it comes in. There should be somebody at the near post to deal with that. Manolas has no chance to see Cristiano in that situation.
Sometimes in the game, you find yourself in positions that are sometimes alien to you, or you're not meant to be in. And then it's about working out where the person in that position would normally be, and you've got to put yourself in that.
Rio, I understand, no question. Keita's left-footed. He should be there. When that ball comes across, he should just clear that. If he's out of position, the centre-back, all he needs to do is fill in and clear that ball.
That's the biggest danger of that spot.
If you're Keita and you're telling your centre-half to go, the least you can do is actually go and fill in where you're telling him to move out of. So,
that's not Manolas' fault, really, is it? Because when it gets to that situation, it's already too late for him.
Very much so. What about the second goal? What do you make of that one, Michael?
Yeah, well,
decent counter-attack.
It was, and we were talking about it earlier that Real Madrid, a lot of their, I think 3 of their goals in this round out the 4 have been on the counter-attack, and you know it's a potent weapon. They are set up. They have got players to counter-attack. It was a perfectly timed run, perfectly timed pass from Ronaldo. I thought the keeper could have done better, but you know it's all about the pass. When you do an overlap, you see James just delaying his run to stay onside, and I don't know why goalkeepers stay there with their legs open. There's a way you almost see in cricket when they prevent the ball going across the boundary. They almost crouch one of their legs down to prevent them, because the only chance they've got is going through the legs at that point.
It's interesting talking about the counter-attacking. So you know, Real Madrid is set up to play on the counter-attack. I suppose it's quite hard because most teams play against Real Madrid. They just want to sit deep, so they don't get that opportunity very often.
I think as you go further in this tournament, them having the ball, the lion's share of the ball kind of goes out the window. I think if they come up against a Barcelona, against a Bayern Munich, even a Paris Saint-Germain, I think they'll have less of the ball. But I think that's where they're strongest. Their biggest threat comes if Benzema's playing through the middle, Cristiano Ronaldo and Bale, pace on the counter-attack. That's enough to scare you, that pace, because they're direct with it and they've got the quality to hurt you. So if they can defend well as a group in banks of 4, and let them, or banks of 4 and a 3, and let the 3 forwards win the game, they've got a real good chance. But it'll be difficult, but we'll see.
Yeah. There was another classic counter-attack that we saw, a beautiful pass that led to a real Ronaldo chance that normally you would see him bury.
Well, I think that's the thing with Cristiano. That was the biggest difference in this game. You know, again...
That's pass of the game.
That ball. That's ridiculous. That's a pass of the game, as Rio said. James hasn't got the pace. But watch this awareness. Just chops back. Great way to pass. And watch this ball from Vasquez as he comes on, picks out Cristiano. And on the counter-attack, they're lethal, they're dangerous. And that back 4 of Roma, because you allow them to have possession and come out, there are spaces that develop as the game comes on. And at times, I think sometimes it's one of the best weapons for any away team. And this is Hesse just ran through the heart of the Roma defence.
Just watch Ronaldo here. Look, this is frustration. 4-0 up on aggregate. Last minute of the game. That's how much he cares about goal scoring, Michael. I get that.
I get that.
Yeah, that's exactly the same. It's all about numbers.
Isn't it?
It's about numbers.
You have to be a certain breed to be a goal scorer, I think. You have to be reasonably selfish, otherwise you don't score the amount.
I think he's probably thinking Messi's going to get a hat-trick tomorrow. He's got to make sure he stays in touch.
It's all about that, isn't it? Trying to beat Messi most of the time. But in that game, Roma, blimey, they had their chances, didn't it? Especially at 0-0. All these chances we're going to show you were at 0-0, goalless. Could have been different.
Yeah, I mean, there was 2 in the first half, I think, and 2 in the second half that you would class as really good chances. And this lad, Salah, was the key in most of them. And as I say, the touch there is a decent one from Dzeko, but it just limits his options. I mean, I like Salah, he caused a lot of problems, but you do not have any confidence when he's in front of the goal at all.
He actually looks a world beater
Classic
until
little winger,
he looks a world beater until he's got to make a decision on passing or shooting.
But
until he gets to that point.
But we look at the chances. They're all when the defence is unorganised, Marcelo out of position, Ramos gets dragged out. Every chance Roma created was on the counter-attack.
You know what it is? Marcelo's a left-back. He played like a left winger today.
Yeah.
OK, he's out of position and he's marauding, and he's a maverick and he's going up the pitch and you don't want to contain him too much. But as a centre-half, Ramos should be screaming up that pitch, get yourself back here, we're being opened up left, right and centre. Because stay in your position, we're 2-0 up.
Salah's actually made him look really, really slow, once or twice in the first leg, and again tonight. He's shown Ramos up, so at the very least you'd be thinking, get back and just protect me a little bit.
Yeah. Looking at Real Madrid there, Owen, and the way they play and the way they set up, the way they attack and everything, they've got so many quality players, but can you envisage them winning the Champions League playing this way?
I think they have the players to win the Champions League, but the way they play, they can't win the Champions League. There's no question. Bayern are far better at this possession game than they are. Barcelona are far better at it. They need a game plan, a different one, as Rio said. Maybe play on the counter-attack, break from deep. But if they play like they did today, which was incredibly naive, they'll get punished against a better team. Roma just didn't have the players to punish them today.
Defensively, you'd worry about them against the best teams,
You
wouldn't
would, especially out wide. You think anyone can get round the back of them. And I think a lot of people thought it was a 3-horse race, maybe a 4-horse race with Paris Saint-Germain earlier on in the competition. I think we're starting to get into a 2-horse race now. I think everyone watches the games and think it's between Bayern Munich and Barcelona, but still some big games ahead. Long time to go.
If an English team, Drew, say Chelsea or Manchester City, the two perhaps most likely to go through, obviously Arsenal's quite difficult, would you fancy them against Real Madrid?
Difficult. I think it depends what type of game gets played. I think it becomes so much more of a tactical chess game. I think if Chelsea play the way they're doing in Premier League and have a fair bit of possession and come out against the Real Madrid team, I think they'll get bamboozled on the counter by this Real Madrid team. But if our English teams allow these teams to get the ball, come out and leave gaps behind, we've got players in our English teams that are capable of exploiting them spaces.
What do you think?
Well, I think it's between Bayern Munich and Barcelona. On all the evidence I've seen, I think they're head and shoulders above anyone else, and especially over 2 legs when, you know, you might be able to fluke a draw and then beat someone on penalties in a 1-leg game, but over 2 legs, I think the best teams come out on top, and they look head and shoulders above the rest of them.
Yeah, in the sense of Real Madrid, though, where do you have them? Are they just behind Bayern and Barca, or are they perhaps in there with that bunch of other clubs that would probably include the English teams?
I think it depends on who you draw. I think if you look at the English teams, Manchester City plays similarly to the way Real Madrid do a little bit. Very attacking, very open. And
you'd worry, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I think it could be anything in that game, depending on the form of the top players. Today, Cristiano decided that game. Sergio Aguero could decide a game against Real Madrid, no question. But I agree with Michael. The 2 top teams by far are Barcelona and Bayern Munich.
They'll probably draw each other in the next round then.
I hope not. Please don't.
No, that'd be a hell of a final, wouldn't
it? That's the dream come true. I think the dream scenario. You've got Pep's old team against Pep's new team.
Depends who you support, I suppose.
Yeah, I mean, I don't support Man City or Chelsea. So. No, but I'd like to see the English teams kind of make way in the tournament.
Yeah, of course. OK, after the break, we're off to Germany, where tonight Wolfsburg hosted Gent. The German side led 3-2 from the first leg, but could the Belgians cause an upset? We'll find out when you come back.
This programme is brought to you by Heineken, UEFA Champions League sponsor.
There has never been a MotoGP year like it.
I remember that I was in front, so maybe me.
I was inside, maybe me.
His target is to help Lorenzo.
Valentino's lead is being whittled away.
I look at him like saying, what you doing?
It's a straight wall.
How is it possible for a rider to intentionally knock another rider off and still receive points?
Jorge Lorenzo takes his 5th world title.
The best of friends return at the MotoGP of Qatar. Exclusively live on BT Sport.
Jason,
time to go.
With so many ways for kids to come to life in their digital world, it can be hard to keep up. But together, we can help keep them safe. Internet Matters. Digital safety for digital kids.
I'm getting slow in my old age, Alfred.
Even you got too old to die young, not for lack of trying.
The greatest gladiator match in the history of the world. Son of Krypton versus Bat of Gotham.
Well, here I am.
Batman v Superman in cinemas March 25. Book tickets now.
It's my first game. Got any tips?
Tips? Yeah. Check out this great offer.
Get your mobile out.
Whoa! I'm having that. Got any more?
Yeah. Your lens cap's still on. Download the Coral app and check out our great offers.
Please bet responsibly.
Dad?
Yes, son?
I know we've always been an extra strong mint family, but...
Yes, we are. Proper mints for proper people.
Dad, I don't want to eat extra strong mints anymore. I like soft mints. And they like me back in a way strong mints never could.
Choose your Trebor. Try zingy new lemon soft mints. The mint with a lemon hint.
Oh, look.
Mobile Strike. Download and play free from the App Store.
Want to play casino? Well, there's lots of good reasons to choose Unibet. We have amongst the lowest turnover requirements on bonuses in the market, which makes it easier for you to claim your winnings. We also have loads of exclusive games across all platforms. And with 600 amazing games, you'll always find your favourite. What's more, we give over 96% of the turnover back to our players as winnings. Unibet. By players, for players.
Day 3, west of Montenegro, somewhere in the Adriatic. Our existence is one long, endless routine. Chap called Pierre White in the galley. He does what he can. After dinner, some of the men inevitably go overboard. Will any of us ever see land again? Who knows? Who cares?
11 nights from $8.99 per person. Now with £300 per cabin to spend on board. P&O Cruises.
This is love.
This program is brought to you by MasterCard, UEFA Champions League sponsor.
The other game tonight featured two teams who might not have been your first picks to get out of the group stage. Belgian champions Gent had a mountain to climb.
Rodriguez would like to venture deep into opposition territory. Guilavogui. Schürrle and Tesch going for the same ball. Andre Schürrle. Excellent pass it was. And Max Kruse shuffling for space inside the box, just wide of the target.
It's quite a clever ball this from Schürrle. Drills it on the floor into the feet of Kruse. What a good effort that is.
By the way, have lost the last 3 away matches. It was a run of 5 successive victories on their travels. Not so long ago. Now, Kruse spearheading the attack. Guilavogui. Zels flings himself at it for Gent.
Good shot coming in from Guilavogui on target. Tests Zels, who's equal to it.
Hugely respected figure, Dieter Hecking. Maton is in the advanced position. Milicevic, now here's Simon, carving out space for himself. Dante trying to get boot on ball. That was Maton making his way through for the visitors. Rodriguez, who wants it here? Luis Gustavo. It was a searing shot. Zels takes care of it.
Good save from Zels.
Coombs. Moses Simon hasn't really got going in the second half, but beats Tesh here. And decent use of the ball. Milicevic has a shot on him. Better from Gent. Here's Kruse. Guilavogui helps the ball on its way to Julian Draxler. Here's Tresh. Oh, it's one of the best balls we've seen. And Schürrle trying to stab it home after the ball had been given to him by Kruse. Free kick here to Gent.
Tresh getting around the back, delivering a great ball to the back post.
Here's Guilavogui. Excellent pass, Schürrle. It comes off Gershon.
How much time does Schürrle want there? And time to get a touch, but he hasn't got that amount of time.
Here's Draxler, trying to take the game to the opposition. Finally, André Schürrle. And Wolfsburg can breathe more easily. The breakthrough, and surely now, Hecking's men are not going to be denied a place in the last 8 of the Champions League.
Well, it's taken a long while for Draxler to stamp his authority on this game, but finally he makes that run that gets past the defender to the byline. And surely that has put Wolfsburg into the quarter-finals of the Champions League.
Renato Neto. Here's Brecht de Jager. That's one of the better efforts we've seen from Gent in this game.
Well, there's too big a gap between the right fullback and the right central defender.
Well, any second now. Wild celebrations from Wolfsburg. There it is. Just enough overdrive in Germany's Autostadt tonight. Dieter Hecking has led Wolfsburg into the last 8 of the UEFA Champions League.
As anticipated, Owen, as our German football expert here, of course, we expected Wolfsburg to go through.
Well, they did. I mean, they had a great performance in the first leg. They were 3-0 ahead, came back to 3-2, and especially with that result, you'd expect to go ahead. And we were just saying the big players decided the game for them. Drexler, Schürrle, they're the players that made the difference today. And talking about that Roma game, you know, they had so many opportunities to take chances, but Drexler's been in terrific form, creating, scoring goals, filling that void that Kevin De Bruyne did when he left, and just skips by the defender so easy. And Schürrle just has a good feel for where to be, pops up, and that's all it needed. That goal puts them into the next round. That's a great achievement for Wolfsburg to be in the final 8. And as Rio said, anybody looking up, getting into that round will be looking forward, because Wolfsburg have never been in a position like this, and they should be an easy out.
I was going to ask that'd be the perfect draw. You take Wolfsburg, wouldn't you, in the last 8 of the Champions League?
Yeah, there's still a couple of teams in there that you'd rub your hands together if you got, and that's no disrespect to them, but last 8 of the Champions League, then you're expecting to get a big boy, and Wolfsburg are certainly not that just yet, and you'd be pleased to get them.
I suppose it does also show how strong German football is, as we know, but
yeah.
club-wise as well as internationally.
Yeah, definitely, and I think that we've always talked about the cycles, and at the moment Germany in the middle of one of them with the teams that they've got in the latter stages with Bayern Munich as well as Wolfsburg, and Dortmund going well in the Europa. So for the last couple of years they've really had a good run in this tournament, and the quality, not just the run but the quality of the teams.
It's quite good for the Bundesliga as well, isn't it, to have Dortmund actually challenging Bayern again. Or, you know, they've had a little bit of a rise towards them because you were starting to look at a league that became non-competitive.
Well, it did, but Dortmund have been exceptional this season. Have such a difficult season. Wolfsburg were brilliant last season. They really struggled in the league this year, but they're doing quite well in the Champions League. But I think German football, they have a great mentality, you know, and they showed it in a game like this. And there are a lot of good teams in the Bundesliga, but Bayern Munich are by far the best.
Why did they? You spent many years there. Why do they have that different kind of mentality, that winning mentality? What's the difference?
To be honest with you, I mean, I played there for 10 years, and I always said our England teams were stacked full of brilliant players, and we never made a team out of brilliant players. I don't know why we never did, and maybe these guys have an answer, but Germany had far inferior players in many situations, but they were a better team than us in those crucial moments, and that comes down to...
How? In what way?
That's mentality, you know, that's how you put the pieces of the puzzle together. That's a coach's job. You need to complement each other, and at times, I think, as good a players as we had, for whatever reason, we didn't complement each other. You know, people forget there's only one ball on the pitch, and other players need to affect the game in other ways. We can't have everybody be the star player. I think Germany's kind of swallow their pride sometimes.
Yeah, I think they deal with pressure a lot better than us. I think is it the actual manager who alleviates the pressure?
In a team sense or an individual sense? Because surely some players can deal with pressure, others can't.
But I think
wherever you're from.
I think as a whole, I think that their players seem to be able to deal with pressure situations. You look at penalties. Most of the time they win penalty shootout.
Yeah.
It's the mentality that
they... Do you know the stats on club football penalties and English players against German players? Actually, there's English players come out marginally on top. But obviously when it comes to a national event, it's very different.
Yeah, it is. If we could put our finger on that, we'll be in the job that Roy Hodgson's got, I'm sure.
Well, you might be. I want a job for all the money in the world, thank you very much.
I think Germans definitely put their team ahead. I'm good friends with Didi Hamann, who's obviously a German player for many years, and a lot of the time when he assesses games and when I'm with him, he talks about English players being rather, you know, more selfish, not as much of the team orientated. So maybe that's in it, but it's hard to say.
OK, interesting stuff. After the break, we'll be turning our attention to tomorrow night when Stamford Bridge will be our home. Can Chelsea make the quarter-finals? They trail 2-1, of course, from the first leg. It's all to play for. It's as evenly balanced as it could possibly be.
If it's getting on for springtime in Paris, it must be Chelsea in town. These two meet for the third successive year. Good stuff from Totti. Diego Costa, and he's palmed up to the bar. Big moment of danger here. It is Ibrahimovic, and he's deflected off the wall. And Paris Saint-Germain lead. And Mikel, of all people, it is 1-1. And again, Courtois is there. On comes Edinson Cavani. Lovely ball hit towards Cavani, and he scores out of nothing really. Paris Saint-Germain 2, Chelsea 1.
This programme is brought to you by Heineken, UEFA Champions League sponsor.
Welcome to a very special weekend for Alex Lewington. London Irish are taking Saracens to New York. The bags are packed, and Alex has the plane tickets because he's the winger in charge of flying. And the whole team are cleared for takeoff.
Buckle up, ladies and gentlemen. Turbulence ahead.
Rugby's finest live the American dream. Part of this weekend live on BT Sport.
There is a rhythm that beats inside all of us, and it whispers, be bold, be an artist, a titan of business. It says, make music, inspire, be a hero. We all have greatness in us, and with the right tools, there are no limits to where your rhythm will take you.
Introducing Surface Book by Microsoft.
Oh look, my phone is blowing up.
Mobile Strike. Download and play free from the App Store.
I have imagined every scenario, every twist, every turn, each possibility, all probability. But chance, this is only part of it. Whether I win or lose, it's not the result that defines me. It's how I play the game.
Play online and get £10 free at gentingcasino.com.
For some, it's the memories, the commitment, and the rush. For others, it's the struggle, the pain of the journey, and the sheer joy of getting there. Everyone sees sport differently. Personalise your sports news and features at espn.co.uk.
Complain away.
What's this I hear about your incredible Cheltenham offer being available to everyone, even riffraff?
That's right. It's one incredible offer.
Money back as a free bet if your horse finishes second in all races at the Cheltenham Festival.
That's every single race, every single day. Surely not for the great unwashed too.
Whoa there, Nelly. Do they get their own life-size Ruby Welsh cake?
No. No, they don't. Thanks, Paddy Power.
You're welcome.
I never was great in defence. I did manage to tackle something else.
Contact us for a free consultation or go online. Hair loss? Belgravia Centre.
Stop clicking around. Book direct at Hilton.com for the lowest priced online. And start playing. Start relaxing. Start loving. Book direct at Hilton.com and start saving.
This programme is brought to you by MasterCard, UEFA Champions League sponsor.
So a huge night for Chelsea tomorrow when they welcome French champions PSG, Zlatan and all, to Stamford Bridge. The Blues trail by 2-1 after the first leg in Paris, and Des Kelly has been watching the pre-match preparations unfold.
Thanks very much. Gus Hiddink has brought an air of respectability back to this part of London. After a turbulent start to the season, Chelsea are now on a 12-game unbeaten run in the Premier League. The confidence is returning. So can Hiddink do something truly spectacular? Can he take them all the way in the Champions League? Well, first, there's the small matter of overcoming Paris Saint-Germain, who hold that precious lead from the first leg. And Hiddink is certainly under no illusions of the scale of the task ahead of him.
It's a game between two big teams, big names in European football. It's always good to have an away goal in a European game, which doesn't make easy, of course. It will be a clash. It will be, I think, a clash where hopefully Europe will enjoy two adventurous teams.
It's a game that's poised on a knife edge, and it's exclusively live on BT Sport Europe tomorrow night from 7 o'clock. Don't miss it.
Desi's playing darts there, isn't it? It's impressive stuff. Good game that tomorrow, isn't it? Balanced beautifully.
Yeah, it's teed up lovely. I think it's when I was out there when we were talking about this game when the result came in. It was a little. I still thought Paris Saint-Germain were the team to, but I thought they really had the quality to win, and I thought the quality of Cavani, the goal he scored, and Ibrahimovic, etc. But as time's gone on, I'm starting to lean towards Chelsea. I just think they're efficient. They've come into a bit of form, and from set pieces and crosses, if they really go for that type of game where they're going to get the ball in the box and put their defenders under pressure, I think they're going to be.
But do you know how many times Chelsea have won at home under Hiddink in the league?
Go on, you're going to tell me.
One.
One.
Quite an interesting start. I haven't lost it. It drew loads, but that's not enough tomorrow, is it? So.
No, I fancy, if I'm a betting man tomorrow, I've got to put a bet on. I'm going to bet on Chelsea to win the game.
Michael, you are a betting man. What are you?
I actually agree with Rio. I was disappointed with Paris. I thought they'd be much better than they were in Paris. I still think you've probably got to make them just favourites, but I think Chelsea have got a right shout in this, and you know, that away goal could prove vital.
Going to have to disagree with
the boys.
I knew
you would as well.
I think PSG are too good. I think they'll dominate possession at Stamford Bridge. They will score, if not one. I think they might score two. And I think Chelsea, as good as they've been too inconsistent this season to come up against this team as good as PSG and get a result.
Where are Chelsea now, Owen? You know, last season champions ran away with it, really. Where are they now? I know they had a terrible start to the season, but, you know, over the last few months, if the table had started perhaps when Hiddink arrived, they'd probably be right up there challenging the likes of the mighty Leicester.
Well, talent-wise, they should be competing for the title. But I think right now they're not really anywhere because they're probably going to finish 5th or 6th, which is not good enough. You don't really have a manager set up for next season in terms of players and recruitment, all those things. You'd have to worry a little bit. It's March, and they haven't really set up for next season. Manchester City have already done that. And I think you just have to worry, if you're a Chelsea fan, that some of the other teams are just getting a little bit ahead of Chelsea, and I really think they need to set the blueprint for what's going to be next season, the year after. Gus Hiddink deserves a ton of credit. He's done a remarkable job.
Yeah, why do we think Hiddink, he doesn't seem to want the job next year? He's done it twice, hasn't he? He's done quite well. Yeah, it's strange. It looks like they might be employing an Italian, or whoever that might be. Conte is widely tipped. Yeah, I still believe that if the league's title started today, I'd fancy Chelsea to win it again. Yeah. You know, but you know, they've just had such a horrific first half of the season. But as you say, Hiddink, he's done remarkably well, steadied the ship. But they're going to pay for it next season. They're probably not going to be in the Champions League unless they go and win the Champions League themselves. So they're going to have to pay for it for a year or so. They've done that before. Earlier on today, Des also caught up with the PSG striker, a certain Zlatan Ibrahimovic.
I think will be an exciting game, difficult game. Both teams that are willing to do everything to pass this round, and the difference is we play away now and Chelsea plays home, so I think it will be a difficult game. Where do I go next? I don't know. So far, nothing is in the discussion. I have another 3 months with Paris Saint-Germain, and after that, let's see what kind of cards I have on the table. And then I look, I study, and I choose. Interesting. I sense he'll have a few cards on the table.
Yeah, definitely. Michael just mentioned there off camera, Arsenal, I think that their fans would demand someone like him on a free transfer.
Is he past his best, though? Past his sell-by date, do you think?
Yeah, but he's got quality. The guy scores goals every league he's been in. He's won many championships in these teams that he's played, and he's always been the fulcrum, the main centre point of that team. And if he went into an Arsenal team and he's got that character, the leadership skills, I think, to carry a team with pressure, I think it could be a good fit. Michael, if you were a gambling man,
Reputation.
Could you see him at Arsenal?
Yeah, I think that's the perfect fit because I think the fans will demand it. I think they're wanting a massive name centre forward.
It'd be great to see him in the Premier League.
It would be great, but you know, you think of the Ian Wrights, the Bergkamps, the Van Persies, the Henrys. They've always had top strikers, and I just think Arsenal are crying out for a top striker. All the fans are certainly demanding one. He'll come on a free, but he's going to cost a lot of money in wages. But you know, for a season or two, he might be just the ticket for Arsenal.
Owen, do you concur?
I was just saying, I think he's perfect for Arsenal because, you know, they're quite high up the pitch. He's in and around the box. He's probably not got the greatest legs anymore, but what he's got is goals. In front of goal is clinical set pieces. You saw his statistics in the Champions League. Brilliant. He seems to get better every year. I think for a team like Arsenal, where I said he doesn't have to do too much running, he's in and around the box, he'd score a bag of goals.
Interesting thought. Let's return to the Bernabeu, where Gareth Bale is with Reshman.
Gareth, good to see you back in European competition. Good to see you back in all competition, actually. The objective was to finish off the job. You must be very happy with the way the team performed today.
Yeah, definitely. Obviously, the boys did a good job out in Rome. So, yeah, it was all about trying to see the game off, try and get a goal and kill the game off. And we managed to do that. So, yeah, we're very happy through to the next round and looking forward to the draw.
There was a sustained attack, wasn't there, from Roma in the first half. Do you think they were unlucky not to score, or do you think it was down to you defensively to stop them from scoring?
Obviously, you need a little bit of luck in a game, so I think they had some good chances where maybe they could have scored, but yeah, we defended well enough, and were able to break the deadlock in the second half. So yeah, we're happy now that we're through. We can concentrate back on the league now, and yeah, look forward to the rest of the season.
Is 4-0 a fair reflection of the game over both legs, do you think?
I'm not too sure, to be honest. I think they played very well, especially on the counter attack. So yeah, but that's what happens in football. Sometimes you have to take your chances, and lucky enough we did.
And how important is this competition now to Real Madrid? Of course, given the position in the league, this competition is always important just because of the history of the club, but has it taken on greater significance now, do you think?
Yeah, maybe so this season, but as I said, we're gonna keep fighting for the league as much as we can. I think we still need to keep our form up, and yeah, we'll try and take our league form now into the Champions League and finish off having a strong season.
Congratulations again, Gareth. Thanks for talking to us.
Well, our fashion correspondent, Rio Ferdinand, not overly enamoured with that attire there that Gareth was wearing.
The taupe and jean, I don't know. I was baffled by it.
But it's good to see him back playing, isn't it?
Exactly. More importantly,
yeah,
back playing. But he's a great talent. He lit the Premier League for a couple of years, Player of the Year, and went over there and won the Champions League. And I'd just love to see him maintain that form that when he first went there. He's been a bit stop-start, but when he's in full flow, there's not many better players to watch.
Tends to pick up the odd injury, but I mean, prodigious talent, isn't it? It'd be great to see him, you know, good climax of the season with Real Madrid, and then the Euros, of course, with Wales.
Yeah, it's a big time for. I mean, you know, Wales getting through to the Euros is brilliant, and it gives him a chance to showcase his skills on the world stage. Of course, the Champions League is another one of those stages, and it's great to see him back. We're all desperate for our lads to go over there and to play well and to